Yay! Unicorn juice. Okay, so hi guys, Paulie here. So, I've always been a big fan of RuneQuest and the Chaosium guys, and I love their basic role-playing system. So I have been looking around lately for sort of D-100 systems that are improvements on, or massages of the basic role-playing system because of some games that I wanted to run. So I went around looking for the best of these. There's a few of them about. And I unearthed a really strange treasure that I actually like to share with you. This is Revolution D-100. Now you can find it on a drive-through. I had to move heaven and earth to find this because they're a bit hard to find. This is Alphatar Games. These guys are French. Now, there was a whole saga with me getting this because these poor guys got hit really badly in COVID lockdown and so on. So yeah, I was kind of their sole customer during their darkest hours. So we've corresponded back and forth. But this is why I want to share it to you. So what these guys have done is they've taken the bones of the D-100 style basic role-playing system, and they've worked out some really interesting takes and improvements, which is why I'd like to share it with you. So first off, as you can see, it's comes as a hardcover. You can get a soft cover. Fairly solid book. This is, production-wise, by the way, this is like glossy paper. It's very clearly and well laid out. So, it's a good piece of production work. There are sidebars that have on-running examples of character creation and all these sorts of things. So, as far as idea communications go, this is very good. Now, this is a general system. It's designed so that you can use it for fantasy, you can use it for science fiction, you can use it for spies, you could use it for, I don't know, battling vols, you could do it for anything. And they have all of the mechanics for these in here. How is it different from basic D-100 games? Well, they've kept the same general kind of attributes that you would be used to, so it's not going to confuse you too much. But the difference is in the details. So what they have done is, what you would think of as skills in a normal D-100 system, there would be hundreds of different skills you could have. They've actually broken this down into just a couple of base skills. So, and the specific uses of those skills, these guys actually call traits. So, skills are things like there's agility, close combat, communication, craft, drive, knowledge, concentration. That's what they call skills. And they have a basic value that's derived from characteristics. And you then choose traits which are specifically uses for that skill. So I might have drive, that's one of my basic skills, but I've got drive motorcycle. Or I've got drive, I don't know, giant steam-powered walking spider. These are my skills. I can only, these are my traits as they call them. Now, anything that you've got a trait has a huge bonus, got like a 30% bonus to actually rolling the skill. So you want to use the stuff you've got the traits on. You can have a number of different traits under a skill equal to sort of the core value of the skill divided by 10. So if I've got a core value of 30%, I can only have 3 traits in the skill. But you can train up the base skill and so on. So you've got to balance with experience, gaining skill in the individual traits or increasing the core skill, which is way more expensive because it's used across a broader number of things, but that will give you more specialties that you can choose. So it's a nice piece of experience because are you going for short-term advantage or are you going for long-term utility of the character? It's a really nice idea. So anyway, that same percentile system, they have advantage. Effectively, if you've got a trait in something, it gives you an advantage, which is 30%. All advantages or disadvantages just blocks a 30%. It's really quite simple to use. The guy's got his back to me, plus 30%. I'm racing past on a horse with a saber and this guy's sort of on the ground. You have an advantage, you get plus 30%. Now, what makes this quite interesting is the way they've done conflicts. This has been designed so that it's not just a game built around a combat system the way so many are. They're looking at longer conflicts and they've got all the examples for it. And this is where I think the system moves into a bit of genius, because they've got this resolution system where a task, you have essentially your determination to make this happen. This is depending on the type of situation, if it's social, if it's political, if it's physical. It'll come from your willpower and your endurance. It'll come from your social characteristics. You have a basic number, and as you do contested roles against people, one or the other's resolution is whittled away. And when it reaches 0, that is when the situation resolves itself. So the examples they sort of give is, all right, you are playing a game that is in a Romany kind of setting, and you're a senatorial sort, and one of the characters, he's had a major disaster in battle, and these other side has decided to bring him up on charges of betraying the Republic because he made such a military disaster. You, on the other hand, want to save your buddy, so right, oh well, I'm going to defend him in the Senate. Fantastic. On the Senate floor you go. You are going to, here is your basic resolution, which is going to be, you know, your based on your determination and your charisma and so forth. Make your speech. So this guy then makes a contested speech and oratory thing against someone from the other side who comes forth to, but the other side, this fellow is going to oppose you. As you do, you know, damage to each other, that resolution whittles down. And that's one pass. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that debate didn't go well. You've been beaten back a bit. So, okay, well, can I give myself an advantage for the next rounds? Yes, you can. You can try politicking amongst people and, you know, bringing home some favours. However, the other guy's going to be doing that as well. So now you get a contest of sort of socialisation and calling in the favours and so on. And these things go stage by stage by stage. They'll go through several different skills. This is their example of one use of this politically. They've got another one where someone's trying to pass tests by this tribe. You know, we'll only trust you if you can pass through our mighty tests of manhood or whatever. This works for car chases and chases, exploration, all these sorts of things. But what's kind of interesting is the fact that they rolled this over into combat, and I haven't seen that done before. So the combat, again, it's going to be contested roles, but what they've done is they've created several different layers of difficulty. If you want to play a simple combat system, here it is. If you want more detail, down here, and they've even got like a more complex one. Amongst these little complexities are some really nice ideas as you perform actions, and I'm a high-ranked kendo person. I can tell you exhaustion is what gets you. So as you do melee actions, your exhaustion builds, and that does things like it lowers your strike rank and directly starts interfering with your ability to strike. So you may end up going on the defensive to try and allow yourself to breathe more and build back some of your endurance so that it's not affecting you. So there's some nice little tactical things there, which is better than what I see in many systems where you can choose, I'm going to choose to disarm you. I might have had 3,000 or 4,000 sword fights in my life, and I can tell you, you don't choose to disarm someone. But this is better. There is like a tactical choice, resource management and so on built in. But that resolution is still in there. So even though you're doing the combat, as you take damage and so on, that actually whittles down your resolution to stay in the fight. As you get exhausted, that lowers your resolution to stay in the fight. When you hit at people and you miss, you kind of lose your will to stay in the fight. So what can happen is when your will is whittled down, you're going to withdraw, and that's something I don't see in a lot of role-playing games. It's always, we fight to the death because, you know, no, you don't. It's like, fights aren't like that. It's like, oh, this is getting nowhere, let's get out of here. So it kind of brings in a nice morale system that's built from the rest of this. So that's a really nice take. Reams of equipment. They've put in stuff for superpower style superpowers. They put in things for like kind of mutanty powers if you wanted to do, you know, the Stranger post-apocalypse thing. They've put in spells and so forth. There's things for mad science. There's things for different styles of magic, ritual powers, combat between capital ships and vehicular combat. There's a layer of sort of stunts you can put on things, and they've done psionics. They've done a psionic system for this. Alchemy, mad science, clockwork power. It's all in this one book. It's full of lots and lots and lots of sample creatures. Now, their combat system's actually quite simple in a way. You're kind of rolling, and the armor is... it seems to be a lot kind of crisper and clearer than most of the basic role-playing systems. You're not kind of whittling down little tiny points and so on. It's a really nice, clear system. So therefore, creature design is quite clear as well. Here's their basics. Here's their resolution in combat. Here's their what they get advantages on. We got velociraptors. We got saber-toothed tigers. We got pteranodons. We got Martians. We got Migo. We've got Medusas. All in that book. All in that book. This is a well-done, universal gaming system. So, you know, why would I recommend this to you over basic role-playing? Well, I like the way they've expressed themselves. Their ideas are very clear. I like the fact that they've taken a tried and true system that has really good bones, but they've done a different take, and they've allowed you to play things that have kind of a longer view, so you can do these tasks, which are things like a terrible journey, an ordeal, arguing with people in the Senate, or a trial. These things are actually quite clear and quite crisply done, and that brings an extra dimension to that D-100 basic role-playing system, that's where these guys have triumphed. They took the bones of something good and they added their own ideas, and those ideas are good ones. And those tools are useful ones to a umpire that's running a game. It's French, and I haven't seen a ton of French role-playing games. I've seen 2 or 3. This is actually one of the best ones I've seen from the French gaming community. If this is a good example of what their material is like, I'm going to look up a lot more. I will put all of the contact detail there for these guys. Hopefully they're climbing out of COVID now. Take a look at it. Revolution. It is up on drive-through as PDFs and so on. This is an incredibly useful toolbox for creating adventures in whatever damn world you want. And all in a single volume. This is a great effort, and I really think you should go and check it out. I am serious. I combed the world, and I think this is the best of the D-100 system re-imagings, because this one brought new ideas to the party, and those are good ideas. So check it out, and I think you'll enjoy it. So yeah, keep playing, everyone. Cheers.